Hi, so we're back here with Rich Galime from DF Music Inc. If you haven't seen our tenor trombone JP-Rath video, you could go check that out. I'll put a link in the description. But basically, we're trying out trombones just like we tried out mouthpieces a couple months ago. So this is the bass trombone. Which bass trombone is this?
This is their double trigger, so it's the JP-333-Rath.
Okay.
Because that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
All of them have Rath in their item number. But yeah, it's designed by Michael Rath.
Great. Okay. And so this is an independent valve double trigger bass trombone?
That is correct.
Awesome. Is there anything else I need to know about it? Because I don't know anything about this one yet.
It's a 562 bore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only bore they come for this particular model. And then, like all the JP-Rath stuff that they do, they're using their highest grade brass, which is a little bit of a thicker gauge, and it's also that 80-20 that we talked about, which basically just means it's a little bit of a darker yellow brass than probably the standard stuff, but it's just got a beautiful resonance and a really nice sound to it.
Mm-hmm. So you said a 9-inch bell, is that right?
9.5.
9.5.
Yeah, 9.5-inch bell.
And do you know the price point on this?
Yeah, so these come in at like just under $3,000.
Great.
Yeah,
do you know what like a professional bass trombone comes in?
So like 65, sometimes 7, depending on who you're going with and what the model is. Like they can get up there a lot, especially for the double trigger independent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like the most mechanical stuff going on in a bass trombone, so it adds a lot of expense to the instrument. So yeah, you're looking at a really good price point for a double trigger bass trombone.
Great. Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, it works like a bass trombone is supposed to work, right?
Yeah. I mean, we talked a little bit about that in the other video, but basically the idea is, John Packer makes student level instruments all the way up, and to really give them something extra on their upper level instruments, that's when they started working with some of their friends and colleagues in the UK, since they're a UK-based company, like Michael Rath. And, he designed the whole instrument. And so it's not just like, oh, he designed the bell or the lead pipe or advised on the instrument. He designed this instrument, like, had the specs, helped out with the tooling, made sure it was, up to par for what he wants to see out of an instrument. And it was a way for Michael Rath to help out John Packer and John Packer to help out Michael Rath, since a lot of these guys in the UK are smaller manufacturers. And again, this is like, they're trying to do the best they can offer from John Packer, where other manufacturers are sort of taking their best instruments and trying to find a way to make them less expensive for other people. And it's just two different approaches on how you're coming at your manufacturing. This is like John Packer trying to be the best they can versus another manufacturer saying, well, we have this model if you can't afford our best. So it's a really great option.
I was pretty lucky because when I needed a bass trombone, I was using a school bass trombone in college, and then when I graduated, I was super lucky to have offers from Conn-Selmer at that point, and they gave me a bass trombone, a pro level horn. If I didn't have that, this would have been amazing to have, but I didn't know about this brand. They didn't have them back then.
They didn't even have this model for JP-Rath is actually new as of, I want to say last year. I think 2018 is when they introduced this model.
Yeah.
So they keep expanding what they're offering with JP. So.
Yeah. So this would have been like the perfect thing for me, and I was looking before Conn-Selmer approached me and all of that. I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't have a bass trombone now. I'm making these 4-part arrangements. I'm like,
I need a bass trombone.
And I don't have the money to spend like I was literally like graduating college. I don't have money to spend $6,000-$7,000 on a bass trombone, but I need that. And so this would have been like a no-brainer to just have something that works this well for that price point.
Yeah, it's a big deal for doubling. I mean, as much as, this is perfect for the high school bass trombonist.
Sure.
I think I get more conversations on this horn from professionals who are like, hey, I need a bass trombone. But I don't want to, it's not my main instrument. I can't afford to spend this much on it. It's similar. I'm a trumpet player, so a similar discussion like trumpet players who need a piccolo trumpet for like 3 gigs a year.
Exactly.
Like, am I gonna go out and spend all the money on a pick? Probably not, but I'm gonna need a pick. So how do you do that? You know. So this is perfect for that option. So.
Well, yeah, my bass trombone, with a couple exceptions, but it's basically never left my house. You know, all I needed it for was my arrangements for the YouTube stuff, and like it doesn't need to be the best bass trombone. It's just playing bass lines and stuff. You know, it needs to sound nice, have a good tone, but like I'm not playing concertos on it. You know,
right? It needs to be a good instrument that performs well and that's reliable, and that's what these are, and they are all those things at a price point that's under $3,000.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the big deal.
It's cool that this is a thing now because, like I said, if I wasn't that lucky to have Consummer approaching me at that exact time, then yeah, I would need something like this, and this didn't exist back then.
Yeah, so. And that's your full-time gig.
Yeah,
you know, So here's a full-time musician who doesn't really want to have to spend money on a bass trombone.
So for everybody else, yeah.
Right. So.
Cool. And do you know? I mean, this is kind of just speculation, but like, what's the longevity of a horn like this? I mean, it's really well made. I know that much, but you know, if somebody wants to like resell it after if they want to upgrade, that kind of stuff, I think about that. Like, if you're in high school and you want to make this investment, but then you're also like, what if I do want to upgrade later?
Yeah. Or you've decided now, like, I am going to major in music and I am going to get that, you know, really special horn that I really want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be as good quality as any of the brass instruments out there. I mean, it's good brass, it's good lacquer. You know, in the short term, they all have a warranty, so it's not like, you know, 2 years into the horn, it's covered.
Yeah.
After 2 years, if nothing's happened to the horn, that probably means nothing's going to happen to it. Yeah. I mean, it's a brass lacquered horn. It's so as long as you take care of it good and you clean it, you're going to be fine, and then you're going to be able to, either have it to resell, or in the case of many parents, have it for the next child or something.
That's true.
But the point is, you could keep this horn and have it for as long as your career needs it to be. Especially if you're only using it 3 times a year or just using it in your house.
Yeah. What about schools using these? Because I know schools don't have a huge budget a lot of time for like a bass trombone.
I've sold some of these to schools already.
Yeah. That's huge.
It's a big deal for schools.
Yeah.
Because just like you said, it's a way for them to have a lot of times with the larger instruments, the school is supplying it.
Yeah.
And this is a way for them to be able to supply them a good trombone without having to waste their budget either. Which then makes it easier for them to make that purchase, because no matter how durable an instrument is in the school, it's not.
That's true.
I mean, the bottom line is, you know, what's the longevity of an instrument in a school unless you're absolutely taking care of it or you're spending thousands of dollars of repair work on it all the time. But the bottom line is, in a school, it's going to be used in the marching band, jazz ensemble, concert. It's going to be switching hands from students. Things are going to happen to the horn. So here's a way to have a nice bass trombone for your school, but not have to spend the money on a professional level instrument again.
Yeah, I know, like, my school had maybe 2 bass trombones, 1 or 2 bass trombones, and they were both from, I don't know, the 70s, you know?
Yeah.
And they've fallen apart, but, like, that's what we got, so...
That's what you play.
Yeah, this would be a game changer there, too, just to have kids being able to practice on it.
Yeah.
So
they can be introduced to what a bass trombone is, and particularly double trigger.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those schools, because the horns are old, they don't have a double trigger.
Yeah, we had a double trigger, but it was dependent.
Right.
Dependent on,
which is a much different thing too.
Yeah.
So to have the highest, you know, the newest technology in an instrument.
That's cool.
You know, because instruments do change. So if you're playing on something from the 70s or even the 80s, it probably isn't an independent double trigger bass trombone.
Right. Cool. This is awesome. Yeah, I wish this was around when I was looking, because it plays, I mean, for what I do, it was great.
Yeah.
Cool. If you are interested in this or in the other videos, the tenor trombones or the alto trombone, as always, you can check the links in the description. If you have questions about this, go ahead and comment. And if you have questions that I can't answer, look in the description. You can email or call Rich, and he'll answer all your questions about it. And if you do end up wanting to purchase one of these for you or your school or anything like that, you can always use coupon code CBRath10 to get 10% off. And that's for any of the JP instruments or the JP-Rath instruments. Thanks for watching. And again, if you want to check out the tenor trombone or the alto trombone ones, we'll put links in the description and at the end screen.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. Yeah.